many of these are we going to need to see? How many of these stories are we going to need to read of Republicans who are aggressively anti-vaccine, who are inexplicably anti-mask even? Who we see videos of people who are under the tutelage of these idiots, walking around grocery stores without masks, coughing on things. Weirdo anti-vax health moms licking the handles of grocery store carts, trying to boost their own immunity. And radio hosts dying of COVID after having maligned all of the things I just mentioned. Here's another one. Anti-vaccination lawyer for Capitol rioters now on ventilator with COVID-19. Reading from Newsweek, John Pierce, an anti-vaccination advocate and lawyer representing people arrested for allegedly participating in the January 6th Capitol riots, has contracted COVID-19 and is reportedly on a ventilator. Now listen, I work really hard to incorporate empathy and love and compassion into my worldview. I do. But it is becoming increasingly difficult for me to have sympathy for these people. All the information is there at their disposal. He's a lawyer. It's not a cognitive deficit situation here. He's not learning disabled and doesn't understand the stakes. He can't put two and two together. It's not that. He gets it. He's a smart guy. And he is not only now put his own life at risk, likely, if he does not die, will have serious future medical ramifications from this hospitalization. So it's hard for me. I really, listen, my brain, I have to train myself into, no, don't be spiteful. Don't be sympathetic. Be empathetic for this person. But it's real hard. When Pierce failed to appear at a Wednesday court hearing for Capitol riot suspect Shane Jenkins, his colleague Ryan Marshall told the judge, quote, "Mr. Pierce is in the hospital, we believe, with COVID-19 on a ventilator. Non-responsive," the Independent reported. Pierce has publicly made comments against the COVID-19 vaccine and mask mandates. On August 17th, just a week ago, on August 17th, Pierce tweeted, "The entire 82nd Airborne couldn't make me get an experimental government vaccine stuck in my arm." And this is where my empathy and sympathy starts breaking down. It's when someone who has a following and has power and has influence over others also tweets out to the masses of his unwashed followers, his uneducated followers, nonsense like this, whipping them up into a fervor, cementing their already rampant doubt in the vaccine. And on July 28th, he tweeted, "This whole thing is just beyond ridiculous at this point. Take your mask off and live your life. We are Americans. I can't even believe this has to be said. If you want to do something about COVID, tell your congressman to man up and declare war on the Chinese Communist Party." Real difficult for me to have sympathy for this man as he lies close to death. It's one thing if you harm yourself. That's what this is all about. It's one thing if you harm yourself. If you don't want wear a helmet when you ride your motorcycle, do your worst. Scramble the eggs inside of your head. Do your deal. But if you refuse to wear a mask, listen, this is what this is about. This is it. I can still talk. You can still hear me. This is all it takes. Had this ding-dong done this, we may not be talking about this story. And I'll just continue. On July 4th, he called the Army vaccine mandate a final phase designed purge of patriotic Americans from the Army. He added, prepare for anything and everything at this point. This goes deeper than anything I thought even a few months ago. No one should be taking any of these vaccines, least of all, the military. The military is already mandated to receive vaccines. Maybe he didn't serve. When I was in the Marine Corps, you get vaccines. There's a panoply of vaccines that you receive when you get to boot camp. One more of these. On March 23rd, Pierce tweeted, I personally think anyone who trusts the government to shoot some vague, unknown vaccine, in quotes, in their arm for a virus with origin of a CCP biological weapons lab is taking a very big risk. Well, John Pierce, had you taken the vaccine, you very likely would not be in the situation you are on a ventilator close to death. And again, some of the reasons I can't have sympathy for him or try really hard to, and it's just I'm failing, is that he was temporarily the lawyer of Kyle Rittenhouse, the alleged killer during the summer of the unrest following George Floyd's murder. He's also representing 17 clients suspected of participating in the January 6th Capitol riots. And in a January 9th tweet, Pierce referred to riot arrestees as patriotic Americans being wrongfully detained. So that is that. This is all you had to do, brother. And you wouldn't be in the shape you're in. I'd love to know what you think. I know, listen, I'm usually positive, and usually I really, really promote love and kindness and decency and empathy. I'm having a real hard time with these.